everybody. Dan here. Welcome back to Daily Soap Dish. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button down below because we cover a ton of 90 Day Fiancé right here on the channel. Let's get right into it, guys. Today's story is about Paul Staehle. And Paul Staehle, he is making his way into the 90 Day Fiancé news cycle a lot recently. Now, we've spoken a little bit about Paul recently because he did an interview on the Dominic Natty show where he revealed a bunch of information about his and Karini's life and also their custody battle for their two boys. Now, we know that it seems unlikely that Paul or Karini are going to get those boys back. It seems extremely unlikely that Paul himself is going to get those kids back. But then in that interview, he revealed some things that were perhaps damaging to Karini's case of trying to get those boys back as well. So Paul in the news a lot recently, and today in the news again for this. So he did this on his Instagram stories, I believe, and he asks to die alone and rest in peace. So Paul, of course, you guys know him, he's quite unhinged, you know, and also one of the other things, and I should mention this before we get into this piece right here, he's been accused by, you know, a bunch of people online, but also I think people that have been following the story can also see the reason why he's being accused of this, of trafficking young ladies in Brazil and basically trying to exploit them for his OnlyFans or adult platform, and trying to basically exploit them and make money off of them. So his ex-girlfriend was very young when he met her. Paul is about 40 now. His ex-girlfriend was about 19 when they met a couple of years ago, 2 years ago or so. She's about 21 now. And so Paul's situation with women in Brazil is raising all kinds of red flags. And people think that even if it's not illegal per se, it's just incredibly inappropriate to be dating when you're 40, like Paul is, to be going after these young ladies. And also we saw a picture last time that we spoke about Paul where he was dating, or he was with a lady that appeared to be much younger than her age. Supposedly she was 23. She appeared to be much younger than that in the picture. And then we saw how she was made up afterwards, where she looked a bit older and more ready, I guess, for OnlyFans or some other adult platform that Paul does business with, which I think Unfiltered is one that he frequents, which is Stepanka's Mato's platform. Now, let's get into this piece right here. Let's see what's new with Paul. So, Paul asked to die alone and rest in peace. Now, 90 Day Fiancé celeb Paul is known for his off-the-wall antics, both out and about in the world and online. Recently, the controversial TLC, 90 Day Fiancé star, I guess we can call him that, shared a cryptic message. So what did he have to say this time around? You never know what you're going to get with Paul Staehle. That's very true. You never know if he's going to burn down his house and try to claim insurance money. You never know if he's going to get into an insanely violent altercation with Karini in front of their kids and police is going to have to interfere. You never know if he's going to bug the house full of cameras so that he can catch Karini doing something and, I guess, report it to the cops. You just never know. It's 100% true. You never know if Paul is going to find some 18 or 19-year-old girl in Brazil and try to basically pimp them out on OnlyFans. You just never know what Paul is going to do. That's 100% true. Now, Paul is one of the most unpredictable 90 Day Fiancé cast members to ever appear in TLC scenes. Viewers never know quite what he is going to share next. Everything from Paul being lost in the Amazon to him being dead has made the round on social media. Of course, you guys will remember that Paul basically pretended to be dead. Now, it wasn't Paul that started. It was actually Karini. And this is another strike against Karini. She plays into these games that Paul plays. And, of course, we know that Paul basically pimps out Karini for her adult platform content. He's even, you know, tried to do PR for Karini and saying, oh, go check out Karini and her adult stuff. In the Dominic Natty interview that we did, he was talking about some of that stuff. It just seems wrong to me, and I don't really understand why Karini would be going along with this and then pretend like she's trying to get those kids back. I think that if you're trying to prove that you're a responsible adult that can take care of your kids, especially after they've been taken away from you because you've created such a toxic, dysfunctional, atmosphere for them in your own home, where physical violence seemed to be the norm in that household that Karine and Paul had. How do you not get off of all of these platforms that just seem to be big red flags for the judge during the hearing? How do you not get off all of this and just try to live a squeaky clean life to try to get those kids back? How do you not do that? So that's why I think that a lot of this is pretend care, because, I guess it hurts their ego, both Paul and Karine, that they don't have their kids. But neither of them are really doing. Paul obviously is not. He's in Brazil, and he's doing all kinds of crazy things there. And I don't think Karine is doing enough either, but I think she likes to pretend that she is. Now, you guys will let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Speculation spread that Karine Martins is pregnant with baby number 3. Now, so Paul is very unpredictable. It's gotten to the point where 90 Day Fiancé fans take any updates from Paul with more than a few grains of salt. It's also his level of unpredictability that keeps followers checking in on his antics. So what did he share? So recently, Paul shared a screenshot online of an alleged conversation between Karine Martins and her alleged new baby daddy. Paul and Karine had their 2 boys taken away and put in foster care. The one thing 90 Day Fiancé fans can agree on is that neither of these 2 should be having more children. Now, after Paul shared the screenshot online, Karine Martins denied that she is pregnant with her 3rd baby. She went on as far as to say that Paul Staehle even hacked her Instagram. As wild as that claim may be, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility when speaking of these 2. So Paul here, there's a screenshot, Paul speaking with Michael. Michael here says, "No way, really? Yes, we will be a family. Did you do a test? Yes, I want to move into your house. Okay, babe. And I want to get married. Okay, baby." And then heart emoji. Karine sent me these messages between her and her boyfriend about their new pregnancy. I wish them the best. So Paul shared this on his Instagram, allegedly. And basically, it's, a few texts back and forth between Karine and her alleged new man. I guess his name is Michael. I guess his new name is Michael. Now, Paul also, in that Dominic Natty interview that we went over, if you guys haven't seen it, I suggest you watch our previous video about Paul and Karine. Paul also dropped some information that Karine's ex was a registered sex offender, and so they had to break up for that reason. So Paul just dropping a lot of bombs on Karine, but then Karine kind of plays along with some of these antics. It's really hard to understand what these 2 were doing, because supposedly Karine now is saying that Paul sent these text messages for her, pretending like she is pregnant with Michael's baby. But, who knows what the truth is? Maybe Karine is pregnant. Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't believe Paul. I'd probably believe Karine just a little more. So Paul took to social media to share a strange message with his followers. The message is written entirely in Portuguese, adding another layer to the mystery. Had to be translated for most English speakers. So I'm not very good in Portuguese, but this is the message right here. So it says something like, all days something is equal. I'm not very good in Portuguese, but I'll just keep it on the screen for a little bit. And it's a cryptic message. Basically, you can see here at the bottom, after he writes this essay, he says, adeus a todos. So like, goodbye to everyone. And then he says, I want for you to get all the best that you can in life. So he's saying like, it's like a final goodbye sort of letter. And, it's very cryptic. Now, we've seen similar things from some other cast members. I'm thinking of Cleo in just the last, maybe 2 months ago. Cleo also sent a final letter, and then, supposedly she was hospitalized. Christian was there, and supposedly she got help. I don't know. When it comes to Paul, I got to be honest with you guys. I think everything he says with a grain of salt. When he says stuff like this, I honestly, my first thought, and maybe this is wrong, but we do know who Paul is, and we do know that he pulls these shenanigans basically on the regular. We know that we can't believe or trust anything he says. My first thought is always that he's just looking for attention. And I know, we never know, it could be serious, but that's always my first thought with Paul, because that's just what the history shows us. It shows us that Paul basically, he has no boundaries when it comes to trying to get attention. He'll do and say anything. I mean, he's already basically faked his own death. So how much lower can you go than faking your own death? Not much lower. And so Paul, really, he is shameless. And he's fine with it. Let's see if we can get a translation here. So the translation reads, every day is always the same. On holiday, birthday, it doesn't matter, always alone. But the second someone needs money or help, he shows up and disappears as soon as all his problems are solved, and I'm alone at a distance. Family and friends don't exist. Only in death will people care and be sad because they have one less person to ask for help. My life is my choice. If I choose death, I respect my decision and allow me to die alone and rest in peace. I'm fed up with this miserable life. This is my choice, my decision. Now is my time to end the suffering. Goodbye to everyone. I wish you all the best in life. So this is from Paul's account. Now, some interesting things here. But the second someone needs money or help, he shows up and disappears as soon as all his problems are solved. I guess this is because it talks about a gender, a male gender, but I think this is just a translation thing. I think it means the person, whoever it is, whether it be a female or male, disappears. I think it's just a translation issue. So he doesn't have anybody specific. I don't believe that he's mentioning here, but basically he's saying that most people in life are just looking to use you and then discard you like cheap trash once they're done using you for their own gain. And he's saying that basically everybody in his life is kind of like this. And he's seeking a way out of this miserable life. He is kind of being pretty clear about it. He's saying only in death will people care and be sad because they have one less person to help them. And yeah, it's a pretty sad message, but keep in mind this is coming from Paul. So Paul says and does weird and crazy things, and he doesn't always mean them. TLC Celeb has reasons to be feeling down. Paul Staehle certainly has reasons to be feeling depressed. He's no longer with Karini, and his children are taken away. On the other side of the coin, Paul is now known for seeking attention, and a stunt like this would do just that. There's also the fact that he shared this right around April Fool's Day, so this is also the perfect time to pull something like this. The other possibility is that he genuinely feels this way. He could be using April Fool's Day to mask it as a joke. The one thing Paul Staehle has always been able to do, even without Karine, is keep people talking. Okay, so that's the Paul Staehle post, guys. I don't think it's funny if Paul thinks it's funny to be joking about that, even as an April Fool's joke. I don't get it. I think it's, if that's what it is, I think this is just, it's dumb. That's all I think. I don't think it's funny at all. Now let's see what Paul is doing here. So his stories have expired. Now, we spoke a little bit about Paul and the way that he makes money in Brazil, and this is what he does. Let's check it out. So basically, he is pimping out a sex store in Brazil. So, we can see him here. He starts off at the entrance, and then he goes in, and you can see they have a bunch of dildos, and they have a fake mannequin there. And then the lady here is going to show him some of these sex toys and what he can do with them, I guess. And, she's like, oh, here's another one. This is, I guess, it looks like a fake VJ, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. I've never seen that before. So I don't know. If you guys know what that is, let me know. But he's having a jolly old time at the Des Fruit sex shop, and he's doing collabs with these Brazilian, companies. And here we go.
Então, hoje ele vai estar reagindo a um som da Royal Suite. E o som que eu escolhi foi esse som aqui, ó. Foi Teu Pior Terror. Então bora ver qual vai ser a reação do povo ao escutar nossa música. É Royal Suite, toda bandida, tava fantasiada de falso amor. Que pena que cê negou. Teu pior terror vai ser vendo que as tuas amiguinhas tudo aproveitou. Que cena.
So basically, we can see here that he's doing a collab with some Brazilian singers here, and you know they're getting him to react to their song like live on the spot on the phone. It's a bit of an awkward setting for a reaction video. I don't really get it. I don't really understand how this is good content, but this is what he's doing. And the Royal Suite post here, o Gringo Paul reagindo a nossa música, essa foi a reação dele. So like he's just reacting to it, and this is what Paul is doing in Brazil. Allegedly, or supposedly, according to Paul, he makes more money in Brazil than he makes in the USA. And here he appears in another one of these.
Poxa, pô, volta aí, pô, tu é doido, é? Vai, mano. Não, não tem dinheiro não, não tem celular não. Ei, calma, meu filho, relaxa, a gente só vai te levar com a gente. A gente viu que ele correu, relaxa, dá pra gente. Nossa, a gente tá no carro ali, bota. É, vocês são bem mais gostosos mesmo que o povo, esse palmito velho. Não quero saber desse 90 dias pra casar, não. Eu quero 90 dias pra trepar. Eu gosto muito de ti, cara. A gente tá no 90 dias pra fuder. Cara, é muito bom, cara, tá contigo. Muito louco, muito louco. Pô, volta, pô. Pô.
So basically a parody, a Brazilian parody of Paul and Karini's, 90 Day Fiancé journey. Of course, the iconic Paul running away. So this is what he's doing, guys. So he does a lot of these videos and clips, and according to him, this is what he said on the Dominic Natty show, is that he makes more money in Brazil than in the USA. It doesn't make sense to me, but maybe I guess it makes sense to Paul. He's still in Brazil, and I'm not sure that he's ever going to come back to the USA because he doesn't really have much waiting for him in the USA. He doesn't have his kids. He doesn't have Carini. And honestly, if he wants to keep getting those very young girls, which is very weird, but Brazil is probably where he's going to remain. And I'm not condoning that in any way, shape, or form. I think it's absolutely gross, but I'm just saying it from Paul's perspective. It's probably a reason why he's going to stay there and try to pimp out young ladies. I think it's gross, honestly, just absolutely disgusting, but that's what he's been doing. So I'm not sure that he makes money with these clips, but probably with the OnlyFans or adult content creation really is where he might be making money from. Now, this is the video for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. I kind of hate doing these videos because my personal opinion is that I don't believe Paul. However, there's always the possibility that, he's undergoing, some mental trauma, and it's real. So I never want to completely write off the possibility that what he's saying is real. I just know that Paul does these PR stunts on the regular, and so, my spidey senses are always, my BS sensor always goes off when I hear these things with Paul, because I just think that that's what it is. But you guys let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a big thumbs up. If you did, hit that subscribe button for more content right here on the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.